In this week's Journey to Greatness, we hear from a Hall of Fame football coach. Urban Meyer was a college head coach for 17 years. In that time, he compiled a record of 187 wins and 32 losses. That's a winning percentage of 85.4%, which ranks him third all-time in FBS history. After making stops at Bowling Green in Utah, he won 2 national titles with the Florida Gators, then won 1 more with the Ohio State Buckeyes. In 2025, he was enshrined into the College Football Hall of Fame, and he reflected on the many coaches and players who were a part of his journey.
I'm a college football historian. It was something I knew at a very young age. It's something I wanted to do, wanted to play as long as I could, and then I just had incredible high school coaches in my career, and I wanted to do that, and I did. And so when you reflect back, it humbles you to see that I had some of the greatest coaches that have coached the game on my staff and as mentors, and then I saw that some of the athletes are back last night, and I'm again humbled to think that I was able to recruit and coach some of the greatest that ever played the game.
One of Meyer's earliest jobs was as a graduate assistant at Ohio State under Earl Bruce. There, Meyer says he got advice about caring for his players as people, not just athletes, and that stuck with him throughout his career.
I think the greatest lesson is working for a guy like Earl Bruce and making sure you're completely saturated in a player's life, making sure they graduate, making sure that they are ready for when the game ends. And that was the best advice, and I pretty much lived it for 38 years.
Meyer's advice to young athletes is to not get caught up in comparisons to others. Focus on being the best version of yourself and let the chips fall where they may.
I think you don't get caught up in the recruiting, don't get caught up in stuff, but get caught up in being the hardest working guy on your team. And when I went out working, I tell this to young players all the time, is when I walk in and I talk to your high school coach, first thing I ask is he the hardest worker on the team? If he's not, I usually walk away. I don't care what you're ranked. I don't care whose uncle you are or who's, all this other stuff. Be the hardest working guy on your team and be a leader. Usually great things happen to you.